Hello, I am Mustafa Hasrati and I am talking to you from Razi University in Kermanshah, Iran. This is an oral version of my joint paper with Professor Brian Street of King's College London, which was published in the Journal of English for Academic Purposes in January 2009. And that is why I will use the plural we to refer to the arguments in this paper. The title of the paper is PhD Topic Arrangement in Discourse Communities of Engineering and the Social Sciences and Humanities, in which discourse is written with a capital D. This is in fact an important distinction we would like to make between two different understandings of the concept of discourse. Building upon G's 1999 concept of capital D discourses and Wendel's social learning theory of communities of practice, it will be argued that non-linguistic aspects, for example, relations between university PhD students and their thesis supervisors, and other students, and the way topics are selected, should also be included in the concept of discourse communities. This is important in that it raises a very crucial issue for ESL research students. While research in EAP has traditionally been concerned with linguistic issues, it seems research with broader social orientation is needed to enhance our understanding in this area. The second and more important and more specific objective is to look at the particular way PhD topics are arranged in a number of UK universities, which, unlike US PhD education, is a main initiation right in PhD education in the UK. In this paper, we will use topic arrangement to refer to either assignment of topics by supervisors or selection of topics by students. We will use assignment or selection whenever a distinction is required. Now, after this short introduction, the research itself. Following a contrastive rhetoric perspective, we initially hypothesized that Iranian ESL students studying in the UK would have writing problems stemming from contrasting rhetorical organizations between Persian and English. In the first stage of the study, 42 short interviews were conducted with Iranian PhD students in different UK universities at various stages of their PhDs in March 2000. We assumed that all students needed to write a proposal at the start of their PhD, but we encountered students who had not written one. This was a rich point following AGAR 1996, as we had observed something the meaning of which did not fit in our frame of mind. And as a result, the subsequent research objectives and data collection took a different turn. The next important question was, if some students do not need to write proposals, where do their PhD topics come from? In the second stage, the same students were contacted through email and asked about the origins of their PhD topics. We received 30 responses in which we encountered some students whose supervisors had assigned them their PhD topics, and others who in contrast had selected their PhD topics themselves. The distribution of these students did not seem to be random. The assigned students were mostly from engineering and science-based fields, while the non-science students were mostly from the social sciences and humanities fields. In the next stage, we decided to focus only on social sciences, humanities, and engineering students. There were 16 engineering students in this stage of the study, 8 of whom agreed to be interviewed in the next stage. Moreover, in addition to the initial 3 social science and humanities students, 2 more were recruited to participate in the next stage. Informed by the data collection and analysis reported above, new research questions were formulated as follows. 1. How were the participating PhD students initiated into their courses? 2. How were their PhD topics arranged? And 3. What's the role of their supervisors and other research students in their PhD work? In the next stage of the study, qualitative data were collected through semi-structured interviews with the 13 students referred to above. In addition, interviews were conducted with 6 of the supervisors of the same students who had positively replied to invitations to participate. The participating engineering supervisors felt they were responsible to assign PhD topics to their students. The social science humanities supervisors, on the other hand, believed that students themselves were responsible to select PhD topics, though they often held their PhD students narrow down the scope of their proposed topic. It can be hypothesized that these disciplinary differences regarding topic arrangement stem from different assumptions on what a PhD entails. As is clear in the following quotation, it seems that selecting PhD topics is not part of the process of doing a PhD in engineering. As Dr. Smith from a telecommunications department put it, in science and engineering, students do not know what to work on anyway, so you have to tell them. The social sciences and humanities supervisors, however, believe that doing a PhD entails choosing a topic, evident in the following quotation by Dr. West from an education department. Doing a PhD is choosing a particular subject, a particular interest, and wanting to take that subject beyond its current boundaries of existing knowledge, and to take it into new areas, however modest that new area might be. The engineering supervisors often conceived of topic assignment as a strategy to initiate students into their disciplines. Before assigning PhD topics, however, they assigned small tasks, the answer to which they already knew, a Machiavellian strategy according to one of the engineering supervisors. There was a concord among three of the engineering supervisors in adhering to the above strategy. These small tasks were meant to motivate students and to evaluate them in terms of their capabilities in doing research. After this initial assignment of small tasks, engineering supervisors assigned their students the real topics of their PhDs. As observed above, among the engineering participants of the present study, the initiation ritual of assigning topics to PhD candidates seemed to be part of the big D discourses of these fields, while this was not the case in the social sciences humanities. It seemed that decisions on topic assignment in the engineering discourse communities under study were also affected in non-trivial ways by funded projects referred to university departments from industry and other funding bodies. Other reasons mentioned by the engineering supervisors to assign PhD topics were the need of manpower to do supervisors' current funded projects, and answering the many unanswered questions the supervisors had, but had never had the time to answer themselves. Topic assignment had a negative side as well. For instance, Said, an engineering student, believed that his initial consent to be assigned a topic had an effect on his identity. From then on, he said, I changed into a person who had to accept whatever my supervisor said, since I had no expertise or background in that area. In this article, we have tried to frame the idea of topic arrangement in the broader context of academic socialization into discourse communities, and have argued that PhD students can be regarded as novice members of communities of practice. We argue that all aspects of discourse are unlikely to come naturally. The need to clearly explicate such discursive issues is even more pressing for ESL students. Though it might seem paradoxical, we assume that a formal training course of some sort would be needed to prepare students for what they should expect to learn informally. It's interesting to note that linguistic aspects of discourse communities have been extensively studied to help graduate students acquire academic literacy, but relatively few attempts have been made to investigate issues which might prove more important. In this paper, we have problematized only one such issue, that is, PhD topic arrangement, which can be situated among initiation rites of academic discourse communities, or practices upon doing a PhD. It would be interesting to see further research studies investigating practices through doing a PhD, including interpersonal communications in the academic arena, and practices related to finalizing a PhD, such as discursive practices at oral exams. Conceptualizing discourse communities with a big D will, we hope, lead to further research in these areas and help us incorporate the findings in our teaching. Thank you for listening.